Hi everyone, this is Sarah from Dan and Sarah Makers, and today we're going to look at my desktop. Go ahead and open a Word publishing program and select Create a New Page. By doing this, you can choose the size of your template or stencil to fit the size of the poster that you're using to create your word art. In this case, I chose a 20 by 16. Create the page, and now when it prints, it will be a 20 by 16 inch document. I'm now making a border and defining that border for my text. So you would say insert text, and then you would type the words that you want your poster to have in them, and then change the size to fill out the dimensions of your stencil. I went ahead and centered it, and now I'm just going to play around with the different fonts to make it kind of artsy, and you can choose it to be a bold font or maybe all different types of text. And once you like what it looks like, which can take a while, then you have it formatted and you can just print it. So here I'm just spending some time fine-tuning the balance and what I want it to look like. And all I have to do is select the letters I want to change, and then change the title or font title for each letter. I can also change a whole line of text. I can make it either a bold, or I can change the kerning. Here I shrunk the font and then made it larger. That way it had a little bit skinnier, taller look to the text. And this one I also shrunk a little bit and then expanded the font size. If the words end up looking like they're not correctly formatted, that can happen sometimes when you shrink or stretch your text or your font. So you can then either double space it or look at what it looks like, and maybe one will need one space and maybe the other word will need two spaces in between. You can also change how far the lines are from each other by selecting how many spaces there are in between, and then you have to also be careful about if you hit enter, that's considered a new paragraph. So you want to define how much space is between each paragraph instead of just how many spaces there are altogether. Notice I'm also putting in measuring lines here. These can help you when you're trying to cut your template out in a nice balanced way. This will allow you to have borders that you can easily trim evenly on both the top and the bottom of your stencil. And you can just pull those down from the ruler on top or the ruler on the left-hand side. Now I'm selecting an insert shape, and I chose to have no fill in that shape. And now I'm going to create another insert shape and putting another square in there, and then no fill as well. And then I sent both of those shapes to the background. Now I'm putting a third one in. You have to make sure you put the shapes in the background or they'll disrupt your font, as you can see right here. Now I've selected these shapes so that there's clearly 3 lines, they're an inch apart, and that way if I need to trim the stencil down a little bit, once I actually print it out, I'll have really clear and equal lines both on the top and the bottom of the stencil. Notice that this program also snaps to lines, so if your shapes are slightly off, you can drag them to a center line or to the other lines or shapes, and it'll usually snap to those other shapes' dimensions pretty easily. Now just go to File and click Save. You can save it to whatever title you want. Hit Print, make sure you're using 8.5 by 11, and print all pages. You can also see the rest of this project in how to create a painting of word art or quote art. Be sure to like or subscribe. We love to hear your comments as well.